Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar, AI and Analytics as Key Strategy Driver of the Future of Business. I am Magal Sevillano, and on behalf of the Project team, welcome. At Project, we help companies use data to make better decisions. Our goal is for organizations to base their choices on clear information. Today, we talk about how analytics and AI work together. Analytics give us accurate data, while AI helps us process a lot of information at once. We have two great speakers. First, Rossana Montero Santos, expert in strategic planning, international business, and marketing. She teaches at University of Pacifico Business School and will share how to use analytics and AI in business. And then we also have Ariel Ayala, who is senior pre-sales engineer at Strategy, who was formerly known as MicroStrategy, with over 20 years of experience in software, telecommunication, and data. He will provide technical insight and example, many examples. Welcome again and enjoy the webinar. Thank you. Please, Roxana.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to thank Prayaga, for this invitation and you for joining us at this meeting. Well, I'll start sharing the presentation. Okay, perfect. Let me see. Here we are. AI analytics as key strategic drivers of the future of business. Quite a title, huh? Quite a title. Well, in this presentation, we will show you some ideas regarding business management, artificial intelligence and analytics, and then we will discuss some ideas regarding the integration of these technologies to achieve business objectives. Finally, we will discuss the current situation regarding the implementation of projects involving these technologies and some recommendations for managers. For all of us that have been in management positions for years, we know that business management is a combination of art, science, and a lot of intuition. But of course, we have to start from a vision. Then we have to develop some strategic objectives and strategies because we are looking for profitability. That is the end of the equation. Okay, to do so, we have different executive functions: planning, organization, staffing, direction, control. Okay, this is the same. For many, many years, this is the same. Okay, the change is in how we do these kind of activities. In the same situation, we have a dynamic and complex environment now. Okay, we have to follow this environment, and we have to adapt to this environment. Globalization, geopolitical. Managers must develop activities. Companies face a dynamic and changing environment with various factors affecting their performance. To adapt, they must develop strategies that allow them to anticipate, innovate, and respond with agility to the opportunities and threats presented by globalization, geopolitical changes, sustainability, regulations, cultural diversity, and technology. All of these put us in a position to face more intense global competition. Global value chains are perhaps the most interesting phenomena to study at the management level. Multinational companies have understood that they do not have to own all the infrastructure to develop, produce, and bring a product or service to the market. For different governance models and mechanisms, they work with companies in different parts of the world to achieve their final offer and serve different markets. Outsourcing, offshoring, joint ventures are different kind of operations that make this possible. And of course, this means that our company must be very, very clear about the value we have to give to the market or to some kind of partner. Okay, specialization in our activities is a key word. Then we have to talk about the disruption of technology. Okay, in this incredible ambience we are developing our activities right now, okay, there are some, excuse me, some concepts that I think that it's quite important to be clear about them, right? From Boston Consulting Group, business intelligence and analytics are defined by Boston Consulting Group as the collective infrastructure, tools, application, and other resources that generate data and insights, which in turn inform how businesses make decisions, uncover revenue opportunities, and evaluate performance. We talk about data, quite important. Then Gardner, okay, another think tank, very big think tank, very powerful think tank, defines artificial intelligence as the application of advanced analytics and logic-based techniques, including machine learning, to interpret events, support and automate decisions, and take actions. Bearing in mind those concepts, I want to talk about three concepts that are related with management. The first one, cognitive skills. The second one, discretionary decisions. And the third one, bounded rationality. I think if we understand the three of them, we will understand very, very good, okay, the relation and the opportunities, okay, from analytics and artificial intelligence with management. First of all, cognitive skills, okay, those are the mental capacities that enable people to process information, solve problems, make decisions, and learn. These include attention, memory, critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, and creativity. Okay, all are human activities. But artificial intelligence is making some of them. Discretionary decisions, quite interesting concept. Okay, are those made based on personal judgment, experience, and interpretation of the context, rather than following a rigid set of predefined rules and procedures. They enable people to use their judgment and experience to navigate complex situations, which can lead to innovative and adaptive outcomes. And the third one, maybe the most interesting one, is bounded rationality. This concept tells us that although people try to make rational, logical, and optimal decisions, their ability to do so is restricted by various limitations such as incomplete information, cognitive capacity, limited time, emotion, and bias, and the complexity of the environment, which can lead to decisions that are not always the most efficient and effective. Okay, uh, so if we think about these three concepts, we can understand, okay, the relationship between the human, the management, okay, the the the, the tools, okay, the very important tools that could be, okay, artificial intelligence, okay, for management. Integrating artificial intelligence technologies to achieve business goals. Artificial intelligence does not present us with that with excuse me, okay, that situation of man versus machine conflict. Okay, those science fiction movies where the human race succumb to cruel and deadly robots are not what we have now in mind. Okay, if we relate technology advances to business capabilities, we see that technology can help our organizations meet three types of needs. Okay, I am going just to mention some of them because, okay, Ariel Ayala, my partner in this presentation, okay, is going to go deeper, okay, with technical details that I think will be more interesting for you. But if we think about, okay, the business capabilities, we can think about three options. The first of all, automating business process, such as updating customer files with address changes or service additions, replacing credit cards, reconciling billing failures in billing systems, etc. Okay. The second point, gaining insight through data analysis. Evidently, we can create more value here. Okay, gaining insight through data analysis means predicting what a particular customer is likely to buy, automating personalized targeting of digital ads, etc. And the third one, interacting with customer and employees as intelligent agents, offering 24/7 customer service, addressing a variety of issues, password requests or technical support questions, internal sites to answer employees' questions on topics including IT, employees' benefits, and human resources policy, etc. So, so we have seen, okay, a consideration about three different kind of operations of acts in the company, but we also can think about another way to consider, okay, those factors. This is the missing middle. Okay, this is a model from Dougherty and Wilson, and it is based. This graph shows as the separation of tasks that are carried out in an organization, taking into account cognitive abilities. Okay, if we first analyze the extremes, we will see that on the left hand side, there are the most complex tasks that involve directing, emphasizing, creating, and judging. These tasks should only be developed by people, and the decision or strategies arise from the judgment of the person. We're talking about a high load of discretionary decisions. On the right hand side, there are actions that are based on adaptation, prediction, repetition, and in this area, machines will achieve a better performance, okay, compared with the human being. Finally, being the most important area, due to the opportunities for improvement, there are those activities that require the combined work of technology and the human being. Activities related to training, explaining, supporting, amplifying, interacting will achieve the best result if we achieve the appropriate man-machine interaction. In the words of Dougherty and Wilson, the greatest power of AI is its adaptability and ability to collaborate with workers, which they define as the missing middle ground. Now, the question is where to start and how to implement a project. Here we show us, we present to you a four-stage process. The first step, understand the technologies. The second, create a portfolio. The third one, develop pilots. And the last one, expand and scope. Let's talk about each one. Excuse me. Okay. The first one. Understand the technologies. Understand which technologies perform which types of tasks and the strength and limitations of each. It's quite important. IT staff are usually the best people to evaluate technological alternatives, but an interesting idea might be to form an innovation group with different professionals profiles. The capabilities of employees should be leveraged, such as statistical and big data skills that are necessary to learn the practical aspects of these technologies. It is important to mention that in addition to having the capabilities, staff must have the will to learn. And if we do not collocate this talent within the organization, we will have to look for it outside. And we know that this talent is still scarce. The second point, create a project portfolio. We must systematically assess needs and capabilities and then develop a prioritized portfolio of projects. And to do so, we can consider three areas: identify opportunities, determining use cases, and technology selection once again. If we think about the first one, identified opportunities, we could face three situations: bottlenecks, scaling challenges, and inadequate firepower. Bottlenecks, when knowledge exists but does not flow in the organization. Scaling challenge, when using knowledge takes too long or is expensive to scale. And the third one, inadequate firepower, when there is more data than we can properly analyze and apply. Okay. Then we have to determine use cases. This involves identifying projects that will generate substantial value. Once again, we're talking about investment. And the third one, selecting technology. Identify which AI tools are appropriate for the development of the task. If we can think about these three ideas and consider these factors, we can create a portfolio. The third one, develop pilots. Some factors to consider include the gap between current and AI capabilities. Sometimes we didn't realize, okay, this situation. The second one, potential business value. Once again, we are talking about an investment. The third one, the possibility of testing different technologies simultaneously in order to understand which is the best one for us. And the last one, evaluating the redesign of process by focuses on the division of labor between human and AI. Sometimes the equation will be 80 to human and 20 to AI, and sometimes it will be completely the opposite. Last part. Detailed scaling plans require collaboration between technology experts and business process owners that are being automated. It is necessary to develop expansion plans, which implies collaboration between technology experts and the owners of the process to be modified. The project will affect individual tasks, not the entire process. When scaling the project, the integration of system and process must be analyzed because it's going to be a different kind of work. We cannot ignore change management and productivity improvement. Change management is quite important. Change management tells us that we should not assume that all members of the organization will support the project. So specific action must be taken to move the project forward. Last part of this presentation, current situation and recommendations for managers. I want to start with some ideas of different think tanks that I think are quite important and are related, okay, and making some kind of investigations and research about technologies and human collaboration. Okay, the first one, the role of AI in business decision making should be framed as a facilitator rather than a replacement of human experience. Companies that successfully integrate AI-driven insights with human oversight will achieve a sustainable competitive advantage while ensuring the ethical and responsible adoption of AI. To create a competitive advantage with artificial intelligence, it is essential to reconfigure decision making and operations that extract value and invest in human capabilities to ensure that this value endures. Two more ideas. Regardless of the pace of which generative AI progress, organizational changes occurs at a certain speed. The return on investment with AI is promising. Regulation and risk are significant considerations, and generative AI is on the rise. However, businesses are setting their own pace in the journey toward realizing value. The following tables are taken from a recent study by Gartner. Uh, I think this data is going to give you some ideas, some very interesting ideas. Okay, the first one uh, is considering barriers to developing and deploying Gen AI. Uh, Among the concepts most frequently mentioned by respondents as barriers to developing and developing AI are concerns about regulatory compliance, difficulties in managing risk, implementation challenges, lack of talent and technical capabilities, and lack of a governance models. Those are the most important. These are several concepts, and in general, they all seem to be linked to the still limited experience in developing these projects. Gen AI initiatives are most advanced within these functions. In this graph, we can see that the largest number of projects were developed around IT, a long way behind the second concept of operations and those that follow our marketing and customer service. We can hypothesize one of the topics already discussed. AI, BI, and analytics are topics closer to the staff of a company with studies linked to technology, which is why it is in this area where the first projects are concentrated. But this does not imply that they are the project with the greatest potential to create value for the organization. Hence, the importance of training the staff of different areas of the organization so that they understand these technological advances and their possible applications. Benefits achieved versus benefits sought. Quite interesting graphic. On the x-axis, we see the desired benefits, and on the y-axis, the achieved benefits. If we look at the right side of the graph, we clearly see that one area of interest is the improvement on efficiency and productivity, with the results being slightly lower than expected. I understand the interest in developing projects linked to efficiency and productivity due to the need to generate profitability in the short term. But if we look at the upper middle part of the graph, we find concepts such as the discovery of ideas and perspectives, fraud detection and risk management, incentive for innovation and growth, improved customer relations, and increased speed of ease of developing new systems. I think you can agree with me when I point out that these factors are very likely linked to an organization's long-term profitability. And an additional point, the results achieved exceed expectations. Impediments to Gen AI adoption in the future. 35% of respondents cite errors leading to real-world consequences as the first impediment. Second, with 34%, is not achieving the expected value. Third, with 30%, is the availability of sufficient high-quality data. And fourth, mentioned by 29% of the respondents, is the general loss of confidence due to bias, hallucinations, and inaccuracies. Once again, I think that Ariel is going to explain this part in a quite interesting way. Steps to success. Our jobs will change to focus on things that only humans can do. I think our jobs must shift, okay? The best recommendation is to adopt AI to automate administration and adjustment, but not replace human judgment. Steps to success. Let's explore early. Excuse me. Let's explore early. We must experiment with AI and apply its learnings to the next cycle of experiments. Let's adopt new key performance indicators, quite important, to drive AI adoption. Develop training and recruiting strategies that consider creativity, collaboration, empathy, and judgment skills, quite important for our contracts in the future. The new capabilities required for success in the future. Skill focused on judgment, creative thinking, and experimentation, data analysis and interpretation, strategy development. This is from the Boston Consulting Group, and I think it's quite important. When it comes to deploying AI, many BCG experts like to cite the 10-20-70 rule. 10% of the effort involves building new algorithms and the science behind them. 20% of the effort involves deploying the tech stack and ensuring the right data fits into the right system. 70% of the effort involves change management, once again, change management, and other processes related to people. Conclusions. Gardner emphasized the importance of articulating and agreeing on a generally accepted definition, focuses on what the organization wants from AI to achieve internally. This first step is crucial to understand how value will be generated for the organization through the use of AI. Only from that agreed upon definition can a rigorous and effective AI strategy be built in an organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roxana. Now we discuss how AI can change business strategy, decision making, and efficiency. We know this is a broad topic, and you might have some question about how these concepts apply to different industries or scenarios. You have a bottom Q&A, so you can send us your questions, and also you can raise your hand. I think I saw a raised hand. Yeah. Let's see. It's Luis. Okay, Luis. So.
Hi. Over here. Hi. Hi, ladies. Hi, Stephanie. I'm Luis. Yes, I have a question. Where and how AI services integrate into global value chains?
quite interesting because we are thinking. I suppose that some of the people present in this conversation are from services industries. Okay, services is all around the value chain. Okay, they are just like branches, but it's quite important to understand. Okay, all the value chain in order to understand where to focus. There is another characteristic of the present economy is the servicizing, okay, of the economy. There are more activities uh, that are focused on services than in production. So there are a lot of possibilities, and we can think about services in all part of the value chain. Hope this
Thank you,
answer
Roxana.
helped you.
Yeah, well, there's some technical issues at the beginning. We will take one question now, and the rest will be answered at the end of the second part. You can submit your question to the Q&A button, and we will make sure to address them later.
Okay.
So now we can start with Ariel. Ariel, are you there?
I am. I didn't have the microphone open.
Okay.
Okay, so you want me to let me share my screen?
Yeah.
Just let me know if you see me well and you hear me well, please.
Okay, we can hear you well.
Okay, just 1 second. That's it. Okay, my presentation is now completely orange because we just changed our image and our corporate name from MicroStrategy to simply strategy. So we moved from red to orange. So again, this is Ariel Ayala. Thank you for joining us today with this AI analytics as a key strategic drivers of the future of business. First of all, sorry for my English. My English is not very good looking, as somebody said. I will do my best. This second part of the session, we will talk about when BI meets AI. And thank you, Rossana, for your very insightful presentation. I took some ideas from your session. Very, very, very interesting. And let's talk right now about what is happening today in real world scenarios, right? When we are using BI and AI to help our business make better decisions, be more efficient, be more agile, help our customers better, and so on. I would like to start with some definitions first. Just a very basic definitions, like I understand that we have people from different industries, different verticals, and maybe not all of you know about what BI means or what AI means. So I will start with a very basic definition of BI. BI means business intelligence. And what is business intelligence? Is the process of analyzing data to help organizations make informed decisions, better and more informed and quality decisions for the sake of the business. Secondly, AI in this presentation will mean Gen AI. You know, we are talking about Gen AI, which is the technology that came later to our life that can create new content or new ideas by learning patterns from existing data, from existing information, from existing images, audios, videos, and so on. So this is the AI definition that comes to us in this session. Then I would like to review a little bit about the BI and AI evolution in let's say the last 40 years, more or less. We started with bulk reporting, which is using massive and static reports created mainly by the IT team to obtain retrospective information for the business. Then we move to, if we come closer in time, we move to self-service dashboards, interactive dashboards, which could be created by the business users themselves. We stopped relying on simply the IT team, and the business user could create their own dashboards to apply to explore the information and the data in a more agile way. Then we moved to we added actually the semantic layer or the semantic graph. The semantic layer is a more technical concept. I will try to avoid any technical or very detailed and technical aspect of it, but I will try to go to a simple definition for you all. And actually, the semantic layer is the aspect of the technology that can translate technical terms from the IT world to business concepts that every business user can use to making better decisions. And this actually makes the BI tools more accessible and understandable for everyone in any company or any organization. Then we added like the mobile BI, meaning making decisions anytime, anywhere using our mobile devices. Then embedded BI, which is the concept of adding BI to other workflows outside the BI tool, for example. And at this point, we are talking about two very, very important aspects that are related, and usually they are going together. Actually, right now they are going together, which are the cloud native the cloud technology allow us to make BI more scalable and accessible, and adding more flexibility and speed to the whole infrastructure needed to deploy a BI tool and to help organizations make better decisions. And then Gen AI agents will provide, actually are providing proactive recommendations and advanced responses, maybe finding patterns that we couldn't find with a simple blink of an eye. And this is actually revolutionizing, it says that like that, decision making. So we are right now talking about cloud native, and we are talking about Gen AI agents in our industry and within all organizations. So moving forward with this part of the presentation, I would like to say Gartner, actually, this company Gartner says that just 30% of any workforce of any company in any company take decisions based on data. Just 30%, just one over three people take decisions based on data, which is not good. We would like that everyone takes decisions, business decisions, especially based on data, quality decisions based on data. So we need to address this problem that any company today have. And how we do that, how we break those barriers. First of all, taking faster actions. This means initiating the next best action for decision makers, creating or generating smarter apps, which is the idea of enhancing the applications that people use every day with more information, infuse more business information in those applications. And we will see a practical example here today. And finally, we need to trust the information we use. We need to scale securely to the entire enterprise with trustable and secure information, which is a very key component today in every BI solution. So I will move forward with the first demo, which is how we use today and how we combine traditional and modern BI with a very, very I hope very, very simple use case to show and to share with you today. Let's imagine, first of all, this is a web application. This is my webmail. Everyone uses web applications today. And the idea here is to inject information, business information, in almost every daily application that we use to accomplish our daily goals. This could be a webmail, but could be a CRM, ERP, a software, HR software, which is also Web 2. Almost every application we consume today is a web application. So the idea here is to inject information in those applications in terms, instead of making the business users go to other tools like business intelligence tools to access the information they need on a daily basis. So here I am. Let's say that I am a sales rep from a retail company. Could be an e-commerce retail company, for example, or any other company. And I just received an email, an urgent email with high importance flag here from my manager, who is asking me to provide sales indicators, these KPIs like revenue, profit margin, and so on. For these stores, let's imagine that we are a retailing company acting operating in the US, and we have one store per city, like in York, Memphis, Fargo, and so on. And my boss is asking me to provide him very urgently the performance, the KPI indicators from these stores. And at this point, I probably will struggle. Maybe I am part of the 70% of the people who is struggling to access data for business decisions. I will need to go to different systems, different applications, maybe downloading some reports, maybe from strategy, for example, some reports to analyze the data and answer my boss. Instead of that, if we use like a modern approach of a BI tool, first of all, I will log in my secure environment, and I will enable business definitions, business information like stores, like providers, like customers, products, and so on. In this case, I just enable extra information to be shown in my webmail application related to stores. As you can see very easily, New York is performing well because it's marked in green. I'll zoom in a little. Washington, not so good, and Memphis and Fargo are not performing well based on some criteria that I still don't know. But some of them look good and some of them look bad. I just need to hover over here the mouse pointer, and I am able to see, for example, the KPIs that my manager is asking. I can see actually much more information than this, but remember that I am trying to inject just the very basic and important information that I need for my daily work. In other applications, I see the revenue, I can see the units sold, I can see now that profit margin is the KPI that is making the stores looking or green, red, or yellow. So let's say that I can see now that profit margin looks really good for New York and not that good, for example, for Memphis or Fargo. But if I would like to go to see further details about this store and other stores, so I can get actionable insights. I can connect this information injected in my daily work applications to, for example, a BI application or to other applications, and I can see, for example, a summary of what is going on in New York or in any other store in the country. So I can see that New York is performing well in revenue, cost, profit margin not so well, actually. It decreased from the previous periods or from previous quarter. I will start checking and comparing New York with other stores, and I can still see that the revenue from New York is by far the best revenue of all my stores. But again, we see that profit margin is not performing well. I can go through this dashboard to see and to analyze the situation of the revenue, the sales situations for my company. But I will stay here for now. This is the way that we used to work with traditional and even modern BI nowadays. But I would like to return to my presentation to see how we can combine the current situation with the new technologies like Gen AI. So let's return to my presentation. Now we will talk about when BI meets AI, and we will start talking about role-based AI agents. This is what is happening today in modern business. And to see how these two technologies merge, let's try to understand each one of them separately. First of all, our BI tool, for example, features precision data, trusted data, trusted calculations, as you can saw in my previous demo. On the other hand, when we talk about AI, and especially Gen AI, it features intelligence and speed in natural language. Nowadays, we can talk to the technology in our own natural language, which is actually a revolutionary. So today, both worlds go together in what we call the AI plus BI platform. So we are joining forces in a single platform. We know that the future is focusing on AI, but it's very important that we use AI based on trustable data. We need to trust in the information that feeds the AI, and this is accomplished by using a semantic graph. So the semantic graph is a centralized and reusable business definitions, like indicators, like attributes, data dimensions, and provides a security and reliability over the data. So if we would like to have the best, get the value from AI, we need to use data that we can trust and secure data. And this is what all is about today. So imagine AI helping you, for example, in every step of the process of your daily work. And in general terms, if we talk about AI is at organization level. AI is making the organizations more efficient, more intelligent, smarter in every step of the way. In terms of BI, in every phase of the BI life cycle that I am showing you now in these slides, from raw data to business decisions. So in the whole process, we will have, and we actually do have, like an AI agent helping us on data preparation, data modeling, content creation, for example, creating dashboards, creating dashboard with the help of the AI, exploring information using AI, and making decisions using AI, especially AI bots. So let's move on with our second demo. I try to create very simple demos that can apply to any industry and hopefully can be understood for everyone in this room to realize how BI and AI can work together and actually are working together. In this case, I am, for example, the same sales rep, but instead of analyzing the information using the dashboard, actually the dashboard is over there too, but I can rely on an Autobot bot that is was fed with the same data set that the dashboard, but now I can interact with him in a very easy way using my own natural language. So let's open my bot. And first of all, I would like to know how things are going. For example, I need the bot to show me the monthly sales evolution. Remember what we are, a retail company, and we are trying to analyze sales. I already answered my boss with the KPIs using the tool I showed you before, but I need to go deeper in the analysis of the sales in my company. Now I would analyze sales by product category, for example, because I will ask the bot for even for some recommendations on what can I do to increase the sales in terms of product category, in terms of regions, in terms analyze it by stores and so on. I will stop a little here with the demo. Here you can see that the electronics category of the products I offer to the public is the who is performing best. And you see some recommendations that in the second part of the answer of the bot, I prefer to have some recommendations. Actually, in our tool, this is I don't pretend to sell the tool here. I just want to know and show you an example of how things are going in real life. In our case, for example, we can configure the bot to provide recommendations whenever possible after the first analysis in any situation. So after I analyze the category, I can see that the bot is recommending, for example, to create new promotional campaigns, to check the product diversification, maybe selling other products too, and improve the customer experience to have better sales results. I continue with the demo. Okay, let's jump into the next one. Then, for example, I will ask the bot to help me about a particular thing. I need to give a recommendation bonus to a store. I have plenty of stores in the whole country, and I am asking the bot which one would you give the bonus and why. So in this case, I'm moving forward with the analysis. I don't want to see how sales went, but I want a new recommendation based on sales, for example. No? And there you can see that the recognition bonus recommendation should go to New York, as we could imagine, because it has the highest profit, strong revenue, and healthy margin percent, which we know what we could improve, actually. And the recommendations for further improvement are, and you can see some recommendations too, because this is configurable in the tool. Now, what I want to show you here is that you can even interact with Gen AI with open-ended questions. And the AI itself should analyze the data and provide you a solution. Of course, this is not something that you will do blind. You need to check what the tool is offering you, but it's a very, very, very helpful for agility, for flexibility, for having information or new ideas from the data that you already have. this is what is actually available today. But it's very, very important to use this kind of technology to trust in your data. You need to have a very consistent information. And let's see why this is important. I'm using just a very, very particular and easy example. I asked it some months ago to ChatGPT which one of the 24 Grand Slams that Roger Federer won, which one he won to Rafael Nadal in final. And actually, if you follow tennis, you know that Roger Federer didn't won 24 Grand Slams. He won 20. But based on the answer that the ChatGPT, sorry for the Spanish, but the answer that ChatGPT provided by that time was wrong, because he assumed that the 24 Grand Slam was actually consistent information, but it wasn't. And this is a good example of what is called technically hallucination. What are hallucinations? They are mistakes where the AI generates false or misleading information that sounds correct, just as we saw, but it isn't. And why they happen? Because the thing that feed all of this is a large language model, which is probabilistic, it's not deterministic. And the LLM works in a way that predicts the next word or phrase based on probabilities calculated from previous data, training data actually. And hallucinations happen because AI predicts words based on patterns in its training data rather than verifying facts, like the fact that we saw about Roger Federer just before. I don't know if you hear about hallucinations, but this is real. This happens in when you use Gen AI, and the best way to get rid of it or to have a more quality answers from data is using a BI solution that has not just data visualization, but the semantic graph, a semantic layer that could provide data governance and performance, and at the same time to scale your analytics as soon as your data volume also increases. I will try to summarize what the semantic graph is for non-technical audience. It wasn't easy, but actually let's see how AI could benefit from a semantic graph. First of all, the semantic graph is a smart network that connects all pieces of a company's data, like sales number, customers, customer feedbacks, websites, as you saw, revenue, profit margin, and so on, into a meaningful whole. It organizes scattered information, revealing useful insights and relationships in the data. And this semantic graph helps business by seeing the big picture, making better decisions, and saving you time, because actually it's very important that you trust in the data you are using. Think of it as a magic organizer that links and makes sense of all your data for clearer, more informed business decisions. And this is how AI could interact with, for example, most BI tools, are actually more like visualization tools, not BI tools. And in this case, the user just writes the query, and this query goes directly to the Gen AI, and the Gen AI answer without any checks of this information. But if you use this another or other tools that implements semantic graph, you can see that there is a much more complex and precise interaction between the BI tool and the Gen AI tool to have anonymous, encrypted, non-retainment information that provides, for example, a bot to you. I just wanted to show you very quickly another Gen AI flavors that, for example, you can see in our platform. In this case, we have a simple dashboard with information, commercial data on this data set that you can see on your left. and you see that the Gen AI can also help you create new dashboards from the scratch, and then you can, of course, you can improve the dashboard. You can make up the dashboard later, but the analysis itself is done by the AI tool, which is very helpful to analyze the data in a more flexible and agile way. I will show you another case where, in this case, this is the final user that is analyzing information, for example, for a university. And I would like to, for example, detect which alumni, which students are more, can we focus for a donation campaign, for example, no? So we have the data set here, and you can see that you can interact with the technology in a very, very similar way that we saw before with the bot, but in this case, the bot is embedded in the dashboard itself. I think I'm out of time, so wrapping up. The new world of AI and BI is here, as you just saw, and the subjacent cloud technology, which is out of the scope of the presentation, is crucial for technologies and systems integrations. I didn't talk about it, but you need to keep it in mind. And the challenge is not to have petabytes of raw information, but meaningful insights for informed and better business decisions. And I would like to think, I would like to close with the concept that Rossana shared with us before, which is bounded rationality, because it's very related with what you saw in my presentation, which is bounded reality is the idea that decision-making rationality of individuals is limited by the information they have. This idea has 60 years, but it's very actual, very, very present today. Decision-making rationality of individuals is limited by the information they have, the cognitive limitation of their minds, the minds of the managers, of the collaborators of any organization, and the finite amount of time they have to make the decision. This was created by Herbert Simon, which was actually a Nobel Prize in economics in 1978. So thank you. Sorry because I took more time than expected. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and let's move to Q&A session.
Thank you, Ariel. Now that you have seen AI and analytics in action, let's open the floor for questions. Whether you like to understand specific functionalities, how it integrates into your business process, or explore real use case, we're happy to help. You can drop your questions in the chat or raise your hand to ask them directly. We have a question for Roxana from Catherine. It says, what do you think are the most important skills that organizations should look for when hiring people?
Thank you very much for that question. I will use a last research from Holt. Holt is a very important international business school. And they made a research. The name of this research is The Future of Business Education and the Needs of Employees. And they mention the 10 critical skills employers found most valuable: self-awareness, integrity, cross-cultural competency, team skills, critical thinking, communication, comfort with ambiguity and uncertainty, creativity, execution, and sales. As you can see, there are many of these skills that could be improved with the combination with AI and analytics and everything of all technology, right?
Okay, thank you, Roxana. And we have a question from Enrique. This is for Ariel. It says,
sorry, but Felipe raised hand. I don't know if you can see Stephanie.
Oh, yeah.
I would prefer to go with Felipe first.
Of course. Hi, Felipe, you are now. Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, the question is directed towards Ariel. You mentioned that there was sometimes hallucinations in the AI, as in you get the wrong full information that you need. So, in order to get rid of this, you mentioned also a semantic graph, that could help to have a more, let's say, fulfilling information that you needed to the end user. Does it still, can you still get hallucinations by still using the semantic graph? Can you still get hallucinations to the end user, or does it totally get rid of this?
Thank you, Felipe. I will answer your question. This is a very good question. I like these kind of questions. It's a more technical, but I will try to not being so technical. I'm not actually a Gen AI expert, but I did some research. And let's return to my presentation here. I moved very fast over it. But in the right hand, you will have a strategy or any other solution with a semantic graph. And the idea here is, first of all, the LLM that is feeding our tool or any other tool is probabilistic by definition. So you will never get rid of hallucinations. What we try to accomplish, and we actually, I think, humbling uh, is my humble opinion, we are very close to succeed, is that we are lowering the probability of the hallucination to happen when you are not talking about Roger Federer, but you are talking about data for business decisions. So you can see that if you use semantic graph and you add also knowledge assets from your business, because you will need beyond the data that is feeding the AI, you will need, for example, business definitions. You need to you could feed the tool to say how you can determine, or the tool can determine, that the customer is good, regular, or bad. So these are known as knowledge assets or knowledge definitions in our tool. And if you combine the semantic graph with the knowledge assets, in here in the left part of the layout, you can make the two technologies to interact in a much better fashion. Because for the query generation, actually what happens is that whenever the bot receives your question in your natural language, it should be translated to for example, a SQL query. I saw that I told you that I wouldn't go so technical, sorry. But after all of these interactions, you will have a better quality answer from the AI tool if you use a semantic graph, because you are not sending the AI, the LLM, you are not sending, for example, data from your customers or from your providers or the KPIs, but you are sending them the AI LLM, the definitions of the data, which we call the metadata, which is much better for the Gen AI itself to interpret your question and work together to translate to SQL queries, for example, to get the data to answer the question. I don't know if I made myself clear. If not, you can write me an email. We can go over the details if you prefer. Hopefully, I did answer part of your question at least.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
But just summarizing, we will not get rid completely of hallucinations because the LLM is probabilistic. So far it is not deterministic. So there is no way that you can read 100% sure from hallucinations.
Okay.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Ariel. Just one question. We're short of time, so are my company data used to train the LLM, large language model? That's a question.
Are my company data used to train the LLM, large language model? The answer, thank you, Enrique, for the question. The answer is no. In the example that we saw, we ask questions, business questions to our bot, our small bot, but very small bot. And this information never travels to an LLM or to Azure or Google to train the model to get more information. This is not how it works. Actually, we use an LLM just to interpret our questions in natural language, but no customer data used to train the LLM.
Okay, thank
This
you.
is a very common question too.
Thank you, Riel. Well, before we finish, we have a small request. We prepare a short survey to hear your thoughts in today's sessions. You can scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in the chat because your feedback is very important to us. Also, remember you can find us on different social media that it shows on the screen. And if you're interested in discussing project like this for your company, we're happy to help. You can just scan the other QR code. Finally, well, thank you so much for your time, for the questions, and your participation. It's been a pleasure sharing this space with you. And if you haven't filled out the survey yet, don't worry because it will also appear at the end of the session. Thank you again. Hopefully we see you next time.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
you.
Thank you
Thank you
for the
very much,
opportunity.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.